Good morning, everyone. I hope you are well. This morning's learning is being dedicated in memory of Ami Bas Aryeh, Shaul ben Shlomo, Paul Casimir, Yomir Chiv ben Moshe Eliezer, Shlomo Chiv ben Moshe Eliezer, Ben Zion ben Yitzchak, Aryeh ben Shimon, Leah Bas Faivel, Avram Mordechai ben Moshe Katna, Menashe Tzvi ben Zalman, Ralia Bas Avram Pinkus, wish all their families long life and only simchas. So we are on today, as you can see, and then we will be on tomorrow, and then next week, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we are not. We are not on. We are having an annual leave. We're having a little break. So I'll be back after Friday. I'll be back on Wednesday. Okay. I'm sure that I'll be getting texts and emails from people that are asking, where am I? Why have we not had the program? But there you go. Good morning, Peter. Lovely to see you. Okay, I'm just going to make a start. So, a fascinating study that Rabbi Lord Sachs, Zichrono Livracha, a man that we miss so much in our midst, that took place in the early 1990s. It became known as the Nun Study, and that's where they took 700 American nuns, and they agreed to allow their records to be accessed. And basically, they wanted to research the aging process in relation to Alzheimer's disease. So, and basically, what happened was they looked over the course of these nuns' lives, and they noticed that over 60 years there was a pattern, and the pattern was that those nuns that had, in the early formative years of their lives, when they were young adults, when they started out their careers, when they had a tremendous sense of gratitude in their lives, when they were appreciative, positive, then they found that those nuns later on in their lives were, in a similar way, exceptionally appreciative, grateful, and they were in a positive place. And they also invariably found themselves living longer lives. In fact, the study showed 7 extra years of life. They lived 7 years more simply because of that positive disposition, simply because they had gratitude for the position that they found themselves on in life. And this, of course, segues into the fascinating concept which Judaism has been saying for, over the course of the millennia from the time of the Torah, and that is the concept of hakaras hatov. And really, it goes back to the dawn of creation, because we know that when God asked Adam, why did you eat from the tree that I've told you not to eat from? What was Adam's response? He played the blame game, and he said, my wife gave me, the wife that you gave me, she gave me to eat. So what we notice and what we see is that the inability to have gratitude, to have appreciation, is something which we have struggled with from time immemorial. And yet we know that it is one of the most important Jewish characteristics. We find in relation to Moses, our first leader, the first of the two plagues against Egypt, Moses was not able to perform. Aaron was the one that struck the water. Aaron was the one that struck the dust to make the lice. And the reason being is because we know that Moshe had benefited from the river Nile, right? It had saved his life. We know that when he floated down the river, right, the Basia, the daughter of Pharaoh, had found him. And secondly, we know that the dust of the earth had covered up the Egyptian that he had smote, and therefore enabled him to survive. And therefore, we see that if that is with inanimate objects, then how much more so with human beings, with people. Good morning to Rachel. Good morning to a Facebook user, whoever you are, and all those that are joining us. I apologize. I think some people, because we started slightly late, left early. I do apologize. It's not because I wasn't available. It's just because technical issues with the internet have once again wreaked havoc. But there we go. So the idea is that we see time and again is that hakaras hatov, gratitude in life, is such a fundamental, overarching precept and concept in Judaism. In fact, if you think about it, and Rabbi Sachs makes this point, you know, when it comes to prayers and the daily services, so we know that we have the repetition of the Amida, we have a Chazan, we have a Shliach Tzibur, somebody that leads the services. Yet there is one prayer that the Chazan cannot say for you. He can say Atachonin la'adam dat, he can say Hashivenu, he can say Hashiva Shavtenu v'lamo shinim, every single one of the blessings, the 19 blessings of the Amida, the Chazan can say, the Shliach Tzibur can say, and we can sit there and simply say, Amen, and we've fulfilled our obligation. He can say it, he can be Moitzias. But, as Rav Sachs points out, there is one blessing that he cannot say for us, and that is, we diverge when it comes to Modim. Whereas Modim is said by the Chazan, we, the congregation, say Modim Drabanan. We say a different prayer of thanksgiving. And the reason is because the one thing that somebody cannot say on your behalf is thank you. You have to be thankful. You have to show appreciation. You have to have gratitude for what you've got in life. That is the hallmark of what it means to be a Jew. And the scientific research is now catching up with what we always knew, that living a life of positivity, of appreciation, of gratitude, of thankfulness is not just something that we should do, but it even has health benefits, enabling us to live longer lives in better health. So there we go. It's something to take on board, something that we will all benefit from, and you'll feel much better for it. So let's go on to Psalm 23. Thank you all those that are joining us, and apologies once again. I do apologize for starting slightly late. Once again, it's because of technical issues. I can't, what can I do? I can't, it's the router, it's a new router and I've changed it. It's still, nonetheless, that's the problem, whichever carrier you go with. Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even as I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You set a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. You anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord for the length of days. Memorial prayer. Adonai Lamim Zacho Es Nishvais Ami Bas Arya Podcast Meir Shlomo Shaul Ben Shlomo Yom Yochi Ben Moshe Eliezer Shlomo Yochi Ben Moshe Eliezer Ben Tziomin and Yitzchak Arya Ben Shimon Leah Bat Zweifel Abraham Mordechai Ben Moshe Kadmon Menashe Ben Tzvi Zalman Rali Abbas Avram Pinchas Shachol Yalamam Ana Balarachamim Tasirei Mesei Sekanafech Yalamim V'tisor B'Sachem Nishmasam V'Yanu Chamish K'Vasam B'Shalom V'Namar Amen. Long life wishes to all. Lastly, refuah shalema prayer to all those that are unwell. Please God, they should have refuah shalema, a complete and speedy and full recovery. Mi shebechav syndrome is Yaakov Moshe Aaron David Shlomo Yivachar Pesachayim. Bavu Shanu Mispalim Bavu Ram Bizchazakash Bochi Mele Rachim Melehem Lachmon Chasam Bishlach Lem Fush Lem Shmaim Lechol Vem Besoch Shachoyso refuah sanefesh Fusaku Hashavach Zmakariv Nama Amen. So everyone, just a reminder for those that joined us late, we are on tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last before we have a few days annual leave, and therefore I will be back tomorrow and then Wednesday. Okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I have a break. And you know what, guys? You also will have a break. It's been a long 18 months. I think we've been going almost, full throttle. Very few times have we missed, except when there's been technical issues. So, a few days will enable you to keep going. So boker tov to everyone. Good morning, everyone. I think it's appropriate that we wish long life to Shirley. I just spoke to her, Shirley Kuttner, with the stone setting yesterday. And the very day of her husband's stone setting, she lost her daughter. A tragedy beyond tragedies. And we wish Shirley, we wish you much, much strength in these difficult, difficult days. Wishing everyone well. Look after yourselves. Keep safe, keep well. please God, we'll be back tomorrow before we have the break. Okay, and thank you for everyone for your outstanding support with the Safer Torah campaign. We are literally by the finishing line, looking forward to getting across.